A lifeless man is seen floating aimlessly on a broken-down raft on the waves, entangled with octopus. A local fisherman, searching for octopus, spots the man and approaches him. His eyes catch a glint of the luxurious wristwatch on the man's arm, a distinctive piece with a number 27 written on its dial. Without hesitation, the fisherman takes the watch and leaves the body behind. The narrative then shifts abruptly, pulling viewers back in time to a bustling courtroom in Seoul. Here we meet Seo Dongju, a sharply dressed and confident young man who is the trusted right-hand man of Chairman Cha Gang-cheon, the head of the powerful Daesun Group conglomerate. Dongju is present at a parliamentary hearing where Hu Il-do, a high-ranking executive at Daesun Energy, is being grilled over a scandal involving a failed energy project. The project, which consumed trillions of won in taxpayer money, has yielded pitiful returns, drawing the ire of parliament members like Sok Gu-young. As the hearing intensifies, Dongju is seen wearing the same wristwatch from the opening scene, subtly linking him to the raft's occupant. He relays the proceedings to Chairman Cha via phone, his calm demeanor masking the high stakes of the situation. When the chairman orders him to shut it down, Dongju springs into action, revealing his resourcefulness and loyalty. The chairman is listening to the court hearing while his wife grills anchovies for him and asks him to taste, and he gives her a nod of approval. He then texts Dongju that one more slip can turn into trouble. A flashback unveils how Dongju executes this command. Days earlier, he met with Assemblyman Nam Sang-chol, a key political figure, offering 2 boxes of US dollars from Chairman Cha in exchange for adjourning the hearing. The meeting takes a tense turn when Nam's nephew discovers a hidden camera on Dongju, confiscating it. Undeterred, Dongju calmly requests a private word with Nam and a second hidden camera, this one ingeniously attached to Nam's cat, demonstrating his cunning and preparedness. The bribe is accepted, and back in the present, Nam creates a disruption at the hearing as planned, successfully getting it adjourned. Outside the assembly room, Il-do emerges, exchanging a brief, tense interaction with Dongju. Il-do smiles superficially, but his expression hardens as he walks away, hinting at underlying rivalry or suspicion. Meanwhile, Il-do's wife, Cha Da-hui, the chairman's daughter, celebrates the adjourned hearing by inviting her husband to share a bottle of special champagne sent by her father. Il-do, however, seems less enthused, his mind preoccupied. He takes the champagne and glasses to Dongju, who is waiting in Chairman Cha's office, a gesture that feels more obligatory than warm. At the office, Dongju is greeted by Secretary Gong, who brings him egg yolks and water, a small detail that suggests familiarity and routine. Il-do's discomfort with Dongju's close access to his father-in-law, Chairman Cha, becomes apparent. The scene shifts to a celebratory moment in Chairman Cha's office, where Dongju, Il-do, and the chairman share drinks to toast the hearing's resolution. Cha Gang-cheon exudes an eccentric yet commanding presence, clearly relying on Dongju's competence. Deok-hui interrupts to discuss a private matter, prompting Dongju to step outside. He lingers, hoping to be called back, but is instead told to wrap up for the day, a subtle slight that stings his pride. This exclusion hints at his precarious position, trusted, yet not fully part of the inner circle. The narrative then pivots to Dongju's personal life, introducing Yo-nam, a bright and seemingly earnest employee at Daesun Energy's Seoul headquarters. The next day, Dongju crosses paths with her and a senior colleague in the office. He notices her bracelet, a detail that catches his eye, and they exchange small talk. The colleague mentions that Dongju recently caught an error in Yoon-nam's report, earning her a reprimand, a moment that underscores his meticulous nature. Later, Dongju visits Chairman Cha and finds Il-do and Yeom Jang-seon, a formidable law professor and former National Intelligence Service director, already present. The quartet retreats to a secure room to discuss a critical merger between Daesun Chemical and Yusong Chemical, a deal shrouded in secrecy and ambition. Dongju's ambition surfaces in a private conversation with his senior colleague. He reveals that Chairman Cha plans to hand over power to Il-do soon, a move that angers the colleague. Seizing the opportunity, Dongju proposes a deal. If Deok-hui steps down as CEO of Daesun Chemical, the colleague should suggest Dongju for the role. In return, Dongju promises to make the colleague president if Il-do becomes vice chairman. The episode then delves deeper into Dongju's relationship with Eun-nam, revealing them as a couple in a whirlwind romance. Eun-nam asks what he'd do if they broke up, pointing to the tattoo of her name around his wrist, a gift mirroring the watch she gave him. Dongju jokes he'd kill himself, then earnestly says he'd make her regret leaving him through revenge. She counters that any breakup would be her fault, not his, and he vows to stay single if he can't marry her. Eun-nam receives a phone call, and she leaves the room for a moment, only to come back to Dongju lying on the ground, choking because of a severe allergic reaction he had after eating something. Unam rushes him to the hospital frantically. The scene changes to a flashback of Dongju's first meeting with Unam at a cafe where he was meeting someone else, and a woman was sitting back-faced in front of him, and she was immersed in a violent performance, which she was watching in her phone, and unknowingly, she started acting out the performance with her hands, and when she turned around, she got embarrassed. Another flashback of their encounter emerges, where Unam introduces herself to Dongju as a Daesun Group employee and asked him that if next time she makes a mistake, instead of ratting her out to the higher-ups, he should come to her first. This encounter left a mark in Dongju's mind. Dongju then asks her out for dinner. As Dongju regains consciousness, Unam apologizes to Dongju for being careless with the ingredients of the food she prepared. The next morning, Donfju was woken up by a call informing him that he has to escort the chairman to his granddaughter's wedding. At the venue, the groom turns out to be Dongju's high school nemesis, and they get into a fight in the bathroom, which ends up with Dongju punching him. When the bride enters, it turned out to be Dongju's girlfriend Unam, and his world seemed to come crashing down on him.